twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight o'er the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming, and the rockets' red glare, the bombs bursting in air, gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say does that star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the land of the free and the home of the brave?
Welcome, everyone, to this celebration of Trinity College's class of 2023. Graduates, at this leaf-taking and recognition of all that you have accomplished, I offer you an ancient, simple formula for achieving wisdom and success. According to the prophet Micah, God asks three things of us: that we do justice, love kindness, and walk directly with our God. These precepts are interdependent. To do justice and embrace kindness, you must maintain an internal orientation towards whatever it is that gives you your life meaning and grounds you. Your time at Trinity has prepared you for this walk alongside the divine, however you conceive of it. And now I'd like to offer a blessing for our graduates. Source of life, from whom all blessing flows, bless these graduates in their comings and goings. May they be surrounded by kindness, and may they increase the kindness in the world. May they be treated justly and pursue justice for others. May they receive the spiritual, emotional, and physical sustenance that they need in order to fulfill their potential. And lastly, may they always be blessed with the love, support, and guidance of teachers, friends, and family.
Please be seated. Okay, hello, I'm Joanne Berger-Sweeney. I'm president of Trinity College, and for all of you who saw me yesterday, I promised you the rain was going to finish yesterday and that we were going to have a beautiful day for our commencement ceremonies. Here we are. On behalf of Trinity College, it is my sincere pleasure to welcome you all today during a very special year, our bicentennial year. I think a 200th birthday is worth a little applause, absolutely. Students, families, faculty, staff, trustees, leaders, alumni, and distinguished guests. We are delighted that you have joined us on this momentous occasion in celebration of the great class of 2023. Our graduates have the distinction of being the 197th graduating class of Trinity College, the crowning class of our second century. It is our distinct honor to recognize the successful completion of your course of study and your accomplishments today. And I say our honor because indeed it is the whole Trinity community that takes pride in your achievements. Faculty, staff, trustees, alumni, volunteers, parents, you all played a role in this day and in the care and education of the students before you. It is an honor to be able to share this moment with you together as a community. Thank you for your dedication to Trinity and to Trinity students. Now, please welcome the Chair of the Board of Trustees, Lisa Bisaccia.
Thank you, Joanne. During our bicentennial year, we will honor both the past and our commitment to the future. You are that future. Today, you will join a venerable group of Trinity alumni who are known for being deeply devoted to one another and actively engaged with their alma mater. Our Bantam alumni demonstrate their support for Trinity every year through continued involvement at the college, mentorship, and philanthropy. This passion has already taken root in the class of 2023, as its members have successfully rallied to support their senior class gift. I especially wish to thank the campaign committee for their devotion: Clark Agnew, Peter Doyle, Jane Elizabeth Dunbar, Bria Joy Imes Fuller, Samantha Ann Gallo, Finnegan McGovern, Raleigh Pollock, Avery Elizabeth Rowland, Francesca Elizabeth Silva, and Madison Emma Stevens. Thank you for all you do for Trinity. We are proud to welcome all of you to our network of dedicated and remarkable alumni. Thank you for being committed to our future. On behalf of the Board of Trustees, it is my pleasure to announce the Trustee Awards for faculty, staff, and student excellence. You can read more about this year's winners in the printed commencement program. The Award for Faculty Excellence is presented annually to faculty members whose achievements in scholarship, teaching, and one or more other areas of professional, civic, or personal endeavor exemplify Trinity's highest standards of excellence and bring distinction to the institution. I present this award to Kevin J. McMahon, John R. Reitemeyer Professor of Political Science. Congratulations.
Thank you very much.
I also present the award for faculty excellence to Irene Papoulis, Principal Lecturer in the Alan K. Smith Center for Writing and Rhetoric. Don't run, we'll wait. The award for staff excellence is presented annually to staff members whose professional, civic, and/or personal achievements exemplify Trinity College's high standards of excellence and bring distinction to the institution. I present this award to Patricia A. Dinkins, Human Resources Operations Specialist. I also present the staff award to Robert Lukaskevich, Dean of Community Life and Standards and Interim Director of Campus Safety. Rob couldn't be with us today as he is celebrating his daughter's graduation from college. We send them both our congratulations. And from the class of 2023, the award for student excellence is presented annually to full-time seniors who have compiled outstanding academic records and whose achievements in one or more areas of activity, such as athletics, campus or community service, or leadership, exemplify the highest standards of excellence to which all students aspire. I present this award to Dion Kelly. I am also pleased to present the award for student excellence to Zoe Camille Sylvester Chin. And thank you for reaching out to me. That was a lovely note. Congratulations. Finally, we are very excited this year to present a special trustee award for lifetime achievement in honor of Trinity's bicentennial. The award for lifetime achievement may be presented at the 2023 commencement ceremony to recognize an individual who has dedicated their career to the college and whose contributions will have a lasting impact on the institution for years to come. I am thrilled to present this award to Coach Paul D'Asciante. Paul D'Asciante, Professor of Physical Education and Associate Director of Athletic Endowment. Coach.
Thank you so much. Thank you. Oh my God. Oh, but you're lucky.
So let me again reiterate my congratulations to Kevin, Irene, Pat, Rob, Dion, Zoe, and Paul. And now, please welcome Dean of the Faculty and Vice President for Academic Affairs, Sonia Cardenas.
Good morning. At the heart of a Trinity education are outstanding teacher scholars. It's my privilege to recognize 8 of them today. Named for Trinity's founding president, the Thomas Church Brownell Prize is awarded annually to a senior member of the faculty who has demonstrated a consistent record of outstanding teaching. This year's recipients are Kifa Hanna, Associate Professor of Language and Culture Studies, and Ethan Rutherford, Associate Professor of English. The Dean Arthur Hughes Award for Achievement in Teaching recognizes faculty members who are in the relatively early stages of their careers, with fewer than 10 years of service to the college and who have demonstrated excellence in teaching. This year's recipients are Clayton Byers, Assistant Professor of Engineering. Lindsay Hansen, Assistant Professor of Chemistry. And because we have so many outstanding faculty, a third recipient, Professor Gerardo Ruiz Sanchez, Assistant Professor of Economics. As one of many means of supporting faculty and academic excellence, the Charles Dana Research Professorship is a 2-year appointment, recognizing a record of exceptional scholarship. I am pleased to announce that the next Dana Research Professor is Joe Palladino, Professor of Engineering. Unfortunately, Professor Palladino also had college graduations in his family and can't be here today. The next Dana Research Associate Professors are Cheyenne Brindle, Associate Professor of Chemistry, and Diana Paulin, Associate Professor of American Studies and English. I'd now like to ask the Secretary of Faculty, Susan Messino, to please come forward.
At Trinity's first commencement in 1827, following a long-standing medieval tradition, each graduating student was to touch a Bible before receiving a diploma. Unfortunately, things did not go according to plan. In the middle of the ceremony, Trinity's founder, Bishop Brownell, and Trinity's first president suddenly realized that no one had remembered to bring a Bible. Thinking quickly, Brownell immediately substituted a small leather-bound notebook that contained in his own handwriting the script of the commencement exercises. This precious book has been touched by members of each graduating class on commencement day since Trinity's first commencement. On behalf of the faculty, I now present it to you, our president, that you may once again place it in the hands of those who are about to be graduated.
I accept this book, held in the faculty's loyal custody, and I gratefully thank all members of the faculty for educating these scholars in the tradition of Trinity College. Thank you, Susan. Another commencement tradition is the selection by a committee of students, faculty, and administrators of a member of the graduating class to deliver an address on behalf of their peers. Please welcome this year's speaker, Jason Farrell, Jr.
Good afternoon, everyone. My name is Jason Farrell, a member of the class of 2023 and this year's student body president. I am so honored to speak to all of you on such a meaningful occasion. Congratulations, class of 2023. We've made it. Before I continue, I want every member of our class to think about what they want to take away from today and from the past 4 or so years. What has this experience felt like? What have you learned? Where have you gone? And how have you changed? It feels like just yesterday we were looking at a campus map, figuring out how to get to class. When I arrived at Trinity for my freshman year, possibilities felt endless and therefore overwhelming. It was my first time living away from home, creating my own path, and it was daunting to have so much of my future more or less within my hands. And although Trinity is quite a small school, it felt like an entire city at age 18. I couldn't wait to meet new people or dip into a pool of seemingly endless knowledge, but I also hoped for purpose and belonging. As I end my journey here as an undergraduate student, I admit that I still don't have that all figured out. Rather than finding my niche among a student body, I'll be navigating an entire city of individuals also trying to figure it out. The world, somewhat surprisingly, feels even bigger now. But I think that may be the point. Everyone is trying to achieve a life that feels right. I experience simultaneous sensations of comfort and distress from this notion. But in times of doubt, I've always looked to those whom I respect and trust. Someone very special to me shared a quote on one of the first days we've met, and it stuck with me ever since. It was from Henry David Thoreau's book, Walden. For those of you who don't know, Thoreau wrote Walden after he secluded himself in the forest, attempting to experience life in its purest form, if there's even such a thing. When he explained his rationale for voluntarily quarantining himself in a shack in the woods, he said, and I quote, "I wanted to live deep and suck out all the marrow of life, to live so sturdily and Spartan-like as to put to rout all that was not life, to cut a broad swath and shave close, to drive life into a corner and reduce it to its lowest terms." Thoreau sought to live life not only with purpose, but more importantly, with presence, to experience all right in front of him. The parts of college that we should reminisce about are so far beyond the diploma we'll soon be receiving. We must appreciate all the moments that led up to this milestone, the times of laughter, enlightenment, joy, and even failure. Think about what it felt like to connect with a professor for the first time, or that wave of relief after getting through a finals week, or that burning frustration after getting locked out of your dorm room. Take these memories with you as well, both big and small. Today is a day to stand firmly in celebration of our journeys. Take time to soak in these last moments of our undergraduate experience. Notice what it feels like to wear your cap and gown. Hold on to that anticipation as you wait to hear your name called before walking across the stage. This will only happen once. This is also a time to get excited for new beginnings. Something is waiting for each of us beyond the gates of Trinity. Regardless of where we end up or what we're doing there, it's safe to assume that each of our lives will be drastically different than they have been as a Trinity student. As we enter the next stage of our lives as college graduates, let us remember the moments of happiness and fulfillment. Take them with us. Figure out how to recreate them. And the same goes for the lessons we've learned here. Bring them along and continue to be open to learning more. Don't be a stranger to challenge. Reach for the best versions of yourselves. We're all entering a world in need of open minds, in need of patience, and above all, in need of kindness. As I look out into this crowd, I see so many faces that I am both proud and grateful to know. Students, staff, administrators, faculty, you didn't catch it on the mic. My beautiful friends and family, thank you all so much for making this day possible. You've all given me something very special to carry with me beyond 300 Summit Street. Get excited about the future, but don't forget to live graciously, live generously, and most importantly, live deep. Once again, congratulations, class of 2023. Thank you.
Thank you, Jason. I think we need to give him a hand again as he's moving back to his seat. Every year, we honor a small number of people who have made enduring contributions to society and to the world through their personal and professional endeavors. In numerous and diverse ways, these individuals, they're not students anymore, exemplify the mission of Trinity College and reflect our values as an educational institution. This year, we have a special distinction in that both honorands are Trinity College alumni. Please read more about them in your programs. First, Sydney White Crawford, class of 1981. Sydney, you have distinguished yourself as a first-rate educator and an internationally recognized scholar. There are few around the world who possess your credentials in biblical studies and archaeology. And through your lifelong commitment to teaching, we have more clearly discovered our human history, equitably and passionately. You are the Willa Cather Professor of Hebrew Bible and Second Temple Judaism Emerita at the University of Nebraska-Lincoln, and you are a visiting scholar in the Department of Biblical Studies at Princeton Theological Seminary. Since you last studied 'neath the elms, you have remained a well-connected supporter of Trinity. In recognition of your distinguished career in a higher education environment and of devoting a lifetime of work to religious studies, I have the honor of presenting you, Sydney White Crawford, for the degree of Doctor of Divinity, honoris causa. Very well deserved. Nicole Hockley, class of 1992. You chose to transform unspeakable grief and anguish into action when you co-founded Sandy Hook Promise, a national nonprofit whose mission is to prevent violence in schools, homes, and communities. Today, as the nonprofit's chief executive officer, you have become a leading national voice on school safety and gun violence prevention, rising above the political divide to help ensure a brighter tomorrow. in recognition of your solemn promise to honor your son Dylan and the 25 other lives taken on December 14, 2012, and of your life-saving work to encourage and support solutions that create safer and healthier homes, schools, and communities. I have the honor of presenting you, Nicole Hockley, for the degree of Doctor of Humane Letters, honoris causa. You haven't even started. This year's commencement address will be delivered by Nicole Hockley.
Thank you. President Berger Sweeney, members of the Board of Trustees, members of the faculty, parents, esteemed guests, and fabulous members of the class of 2023. It's an honor and a privilege to be celebrating this proud moment with you. Your hard work, commitment, and perseverance has paid off, and you're ready to take the next big step forward in your life. Congratulations. I am deeply honored to be your commencement speaker, but I admit when I was asked, I was quite nervous. I've given hundreds of speeches over the last 10 years, but nothing like this. So I've spent a lot of time preparing for today. Over the next 60 minutes, I'll be sharing a lot of unsolicited advice, cliched platitudes, and anecdotes you will never remember. For those of you who are paying attention, I am just kidding. I am often asked to give 60-minute speeches, and my response is always the same. No one wants to listen to anyone speak for 60 minutes. But if you'll allow me to share this space with you for the next 10 or so minutes, I promise to do my best to give you something to remember. Today is graduation day. It's a huge accomplishment. Some of you may already have plans in place for what comes next. Some of you may still be contemplating different ideas and options. Both are okay. Your life will have many twists and turns ahead, and all of them should be leaned into with curiosity and a willingness to embrace possibilities, to learn from every experience and continue moving forward, just like you did here at Trinity College. When I graduated from Trinity in 1992, many years before many of you were born, I was brimming with excitement, yet had no idea what to do next. I only knew that I wanted to move to England, where I was sure I would be overwhelmed with exciting job offers. That September after graduation, I did move to England, and I became a dishwasher, and then a cafeteria worker in a tax office. I managed a mailroom at a law firm, and then became a purchasing clerk for a food manufacturer. None of these were what I studied for at Trinity. None of these were what I wanted to do. But I didn't let that bring me down. Instead, I committed to doing each of these jobs to the best of my ability, while continuing to apply for positions that I actually wanted. In each of those temporary roles, I was given more responsibility and job offers until I was finally offered the role I wanted, an entry-level position in a marketing department. Being the best I could be, even in places I didn't want to be, paid off, and my career began. And that's the first theme that I hope you remember. Whatever you do, wherever you find yourself, take pride and commit to doing your best work and being the best possible you. If you put your best out into the world will respond. You may not get your first choice job or graduate school. You may not even get your second or third choice. But whatever you get and wherever you find yourself, be your best, because someone chose you to be there, and that makes you special. So be special in return. Life won't always go as you planned or hoped. Things will happen that you can't control. Yes, there will be triumphs, but you will also experience heartbreak, loss, trauma, and grief. I lived in England for 18 years after graduation, steadily growing my career and family, though the goal had always been to return to the U.S. In early 2011, I returned, settling in Newtown, Connecticut. Less than 2 years later, both of my sons were at Sandy Hook Elementary School on December 14th, 2012. My eldest, Jake, survived in his 3rd grade class. He is my living heart and my greatest joy. My youngest, Dylan, was killed in his 1st grade classroom, alongside 19 of his fellow students and 6 educators. My life changed in ways I hope none of you ever experience. What happened, the murder of my youngest son, was not something I could control. But what happened after? That was my choice. Instead of succumbing to my grief, I chose to channel my sadness, anger, and love into preventing others from sharing my experience. My life's mission became about creating a safer, better future for young people, for your generation, and the generations to come. It was an easy choice to make, but incredibly hard to execute. Partisan politics, false assumptions about me and my work, making the transition from a successful corporate life to starting and leading a national nonprofit. None of this has been easy, and thankfully, I didn't do it alone. Whether your life transitions from one positive experience to the next, or has seemingly endless, unsurmountable challenges at every turn, you will find a way through. But please remember, you don't have to take it all on yourself. Find those with similar purpose, those who share your passion, those who inspire you, who make you laugh out loud, who help you push past your fear and challenge you to think, to dream, and to be brave and bold. Make these people your friends, your colleagues, your chosen family. When things go wrong, which they will, lean into them to lift you up and always be there for them. That's the second theme I hope you remember. Lean on others, look for the helpers, and just as importantly, be a helper. I've mentioned hard times and challenges. To pretend that life after today will be filled with sunshine and rainbows would be wrong. No life journey is easy, and it's not supposed to be, or we would never learn and grow. In my 52 years, I've accomplished a lot. I'm proud of the mom I am, the friend I am, and the leader I am. I literally see lives being saved every day because of the work my team and I do. But for every accomplishment, there is at least one poor choice made, at least one failure or mistake. There are days I'm still overwhelmed with the work I need to do, personally and professionally. There are days when my to-do lists have lists, and for every task I complete, another 10 tasks get added. Now, I used to say my life's quote was, "Do or do not, there is no try." Yes, I am quoting Yoda. He's a wise being, but now I think he got this one wrong. There's a lot of try. Life is nonstop trying because we don't know the outcome or impact of a decision until we do it. So decide, then keep trying. Stay focused on your mission, your purpose, and the change you want to see in the world. And when you fail, don't dwell in that negative space. Trust in yourself and the people you've gathered close to you. Trust that failure is there to help you learn, to find a way forward, and lead you to success. Which brings me to the third theme I hope you remember. Use your voice. As you leave Trinity College and you want to try new things or change something for the better, you will likely encounter people who are afraid of change. Those who dismiss you and say, "You're too young. You don't know what you want." And that's not how we do things here. Saying that your opinion, your beliefs, and your voice don't matter. Your voice always matters. You may be young, but that doesn't define your ability to be successful and create something better. You have personal agency. You have power. You don't need to be granted that power from an employer or a professor, a politician, or even a parent. It is intrinsically yours. And you get to choose how to use your voice. Whether that's advocating for yourself or advocating for systemic change, your voice, your engagement, your action all have power. Others may disagree with you or just want to keep the status quo. I experience that constantly in my work. It can be exhausting to advocate against the status quo, to advocate for change. But if the status quo isn't working for everyone, for you, for those around you, for those who may not have your privilege, for those who live on the margins and need to be brought to the center, then the status quo needs to change. Using your voice will bring consequences, but those consequences could be what paves the way for others to use their voices. This is how the greatest advances in society are made. And as you use your voice, please do that from a place of kindness. If there is only one thing that you remember from what I've said, I hope it is to be kind to yourself and to everyone you encounter. You can challenge the status quo. You can be a helper and uplift others. You can try and fail and try again. You can cause trouble. You can be the best version of you, but to be kind while doing so is truly the most important thing. There's so much anger in the world right now, so much fighting for the sake of fighting or for money or for power. Don't fall into that trap. Be kind, compassionate, and empathetic. Being kind is not a weakness. It is a character trait, a strength at the core of our humanity. It takes effort to be an ass. It takes heart to be kind. Be the generation that leads through kindness. Now, kindness doesn't have to be big and grandiose. Small acts of kindness can have huge impact. My son Dylan was autistic, and like many people on this spectrum, he had a repetitive action. He was a flapper. Whenever he was happy or excited, which seemed to be all the time, he would jump up and down and flap his arms. One day I asked him, "Dylan, why do you flap?" I wasn't really expecting him to answer, but he did. He said, "Because I am a beautiful butterfly." And for me, he was. At his funeral, I shared that story and talked about the butterfly effect. The idea that a butterfly flapping its wings on one side of the world creates tiny changes in the atmosphere, setting molecules of air into motion that eventually create or prevent a tornado in another part of the world. The butterfly doesn't create or power the tornado. The flapping wings just start the chain of events. Had the butterfly not flapped its wings, the change might not have happened, or might have been vastly different. What does that mean for us? It means that everything we do matters. We don't need to take big, earth-changing actions. Every smile, every act of kindness, every time you use your voice for change, these all have meaning and create action and ripple effects that you may not even realize. We were created to make a difference. You were created to make a difference. Through my work with Sandy Hook Promise, I get to spend a lot of time in schools, particularly meeting middle schoolers and high schoolers. And when I look out at them during presentations, I don't see a group of students. All I see are butterflies. And when I look at you, I still see butterflies. And if just one butterfly can cause a tornado, imagine what you can do. Imagine what we can all do collectively. We can cause more than a tornado. We can create a better future. After today, you're no longer a student at Trinity College. You're an alum, just like me. So be a proud Bantam, but let's show the next generation of Trinity students the way to be butterflies too. Go boldly into your future. Be the best at whatever you're asked to do. Never stop trying. Embrace all the beauty and all the hard parts of life. Use your voice to change the narrative. And always, always remember to be kind and bring your grace and love to everything that you do. Make your life your mission, and make that mission your passion. Thank you, and congratulations.
Well, Nicole, what an inspiration and what a privilege. Thank you. Thank you very much. Class of 2023, we gather to celebrate you, your tremendous accomplishments here neath the elms. And let's not forget to thank all who have made your success possible. Let's give another round of applause and thanks to your biggest supporters: faculty, staff, family, and friends who have cheered you on since day one. You are a very special class. You are the last and crowning graduating class of Trinity College's second century. You are the only class that will celebrate the bicentennial both as students and alumni. You have just added your story to the history of this magical place, Trinity College. As you know, it wouldn't be one of my commencement speeches, or for that matter of fact, any of my speeches, if I didn't talk about a book that I've read recently. But let me first start with lyrics from a song. Look at her, a prisoner of the gutter, condemned by every syllable she ever uttered. By law, she should be taken out and hung for the cold-blooded murder of the English tongue. Professor Henry Higgins sings these lines in Why Can't the English?, a song that questions Brits' ability to teach their children how to speak properly. He is singing, of course, about Miss Eliza Doolittle, a poor flower girl in the musical My Fair Lady. This is a story, and yes, it's one of my favorite musicals, about the importance of how the English language is spoken. People are immediately judged by how they speak, their enunciation, their diction, their accent. Professor Higgins reminds Colonel Pickering, his colleague, that if you spoke as she does, sir, instead of the way you do, why, you might be selling flowers too. Higgins transforms Eliza from a flower girl into a princess. The way she speaks English changes too. The moment we open our mouths, we are judged with assumptions about our socioeconomic class, our upbringing, where we're from, and I dare say, even our level of intelligence. Language has power, and here at Trinity, you have learned something of that power. My guess, and certainly my hope, is that you speak more eloquently and write more precisely because of your Trinity education. Now, this leads me to the book I want to share this year, titled Babel, An Arcane History of the Oxford Translators' Revolution, by R.F. Huang. This brilliant novel was given to me by one of our newest professors, Assistant Professor of Political Science, Dang Do, who heard me reference my use of books during my commencement speech at the start of the academic year. He stopped me on the long walk one day to say how much he liked this book by Huang and thought I might like it too. And he was right. The book is a fantasy involving a prestigious Institute of Language and Translation at Oxford University called Babel, or in British English, Babel. It's where an elite group of students are trained to collect and translate world languages into English, including languages from colonialized countries. The most precise translations and word matches are then used to unlock the power of magical silver bars. These bars power the British economy and colonial suppression in the 19th century. Underlying the surface is a story about the British Empire using language to dominate, indeed colonialize other cultures, and particularly in this book, in Asia. The main character, Robin Swift, is taken from his home in China and brought to Victorian England, a very different world. He eventually attends the Babel Institute. He is taught to live and act as a Brit, and the only remaining trace of his homeland is the very precise manner in which he can translate Chinese into English. Robin is forced to suppress the very thing that provides his translations meaning, his native culture. But how can one divorce the meaning of language from the very culture that produced it? I will never forget a line from the book. The act of translation is always an act of betrayal. One can never translate with full precision the nuances and meanings from one culture into the structure of another. For me, this book is a reminder of the precious responsibility of teaching and learning in the liberal arts tradition. Babel is a story about how one could use language and teaching in a way to inculcate a particular point of view. This is true when you limit what can be taught and how it can be taught. When you believe that there is a single lens through which to view history. I want to contrast the book with what I know about a Trinity education. Our professors have the responsibility to teach our students to develop a full understanding, not simply a narrow view of history. We aim to teach students how to think, not what to think. A Trinity education is about learning how to speak, how to be heard, and how to listen. It's about acknowledging and valuing different perspectives. This is probably why we have graduated Trinity alumni who consider themselves politically conservative, as well as those who consider themselves liberal. We have taught you how to analyze an issue, not what the conclusion should be. And in a society so politically divided, at a time when some people are trying to restrict what we read or how we interpret it, this gift of critical analysis is the most precious gift that we can give our students. This book is also a reminder of duty, the duty that comes with the privilege of education. And your duty, members of the class of 2023, is to take what you have learned here and to use it for the public good, not solely for personal gain or landing a good job. While I certainly hope you get a good job after you leave here, importantly, I hope you take what you've learned to make the world a better place and to empower others to do the same. Ask yourself, how might I advocate for what's right or give voice to those in need? How might I create a tool that will improve lives for others? How might I research a topic that sheds light on the human condition? Our commencement speaker, Nicole Hockley, Trinity class of 1992, has answered these questions in her courageous work with Sandy Hook Promise. Like Nicole, you have incredible power to make your community a better place. You have already started to use your magic here at Trinity. When I think about people who have made Trinity a better place, I recognize the leaders who have come before me. These are board chairs, trustees, deans, presidents, all of whom saw their duty to guide this institution through 200 years, and some of whom are with us today. These Trinity living leaders who are here today, please rise and let's give them a round of applause. Please rise. Current, past, trustees, deans, leaders of Trinity College, thank you. You, the class of 2023, also have a unique place in history. You are the only class for whom the COVID pandemic interrupted all 4 years of your years here at Trinity. All right? When you arrived on campus, you didn't know what was in store. By the end of the year, terms including social distancing and remote learning became part of your daily lives. While your second and third year were here in person, they were under COVID restrictions. Hopefully this senior year has felt a little bit more like normal for you. But you are my resilient class. You showed resilience in how you adapted and cared for one another. You got on with life in a world of Spotify, Harry Styles, Bad Bunny, and Lizzo? And how many of you binge-watched Squid Games, Ted Lasso, or The White Lotus together? And during COVID, when in January 2021, I taught, along with Ors, the Neuroscience of Learning and Memory course for mostly sophomores, many of whom are graduating now. Renee, Manny, Nick D, Ross, Allie, Steph, Sarah, Molly, Jillian, Emlyn, Danny, Luke, Carrie, Anya, and Nick Z. You reminded me of what an incredible privilege it is to teach and just how smart our current students are. All right. During our bicentennial year, we want you to know that you will always be connected to us here at Trinity and to others by shared memories of this magical place 'neath the elms. Please come back to campus often and stay engaged. Please remember that no one person can provide the single perspective for our multi-layered history. This is what makes our bicentennial so rich. We are all celebrating not one single Trinity, but all Trinity, and especially you. And so I ask you, the graduates of 2023, what is your commitment to the future, and how will you fulfill it? How will you use your power to make the world a better place? I can't wait to see the magic that you produce. Make me proud, class of 2023. Congratulations.
All right, those were 3 incredible speeches. How about we give them another round of applause? And now it's time to begin the awarding of degrees. Will the candidates for the degree of Master of Arts please rise? Madam President, I present these students who, pending completion of all requirements for the degree of Master of Arts, and upon certification by the faculty and by the trustees of Trinity College, will be officially admitted to the earned degrees.
By the authority vested in me by the trustees of the college, and upon recommendation of the faculty, I hereby confer upon you Masters of Arts with all the rights, honors, privileges, powers, and responsibilities of this distinction.
I now present the candidates for Master of Arts. Samantha Ashton. Nadia Balasone. Juliana Elizabeth Bigami. Jacob Philby with honors in graduate scholarship. Suleiman Foster. Marisol Garcia with honors in graduate scholarship. Drew Jacobs in absentia with honors in graduate scholarship. Sean Kinsella in absentia with honors in graduate scholarship. Consalia Unlov. Crystal Neves with honors and graduate scholarship. Lucimi Perez. Liliana Pauli Gutierrez with honors and graduate scholarship. Nicholas Rowe. Anthony Rosado with honors and graduate scholarship, in absentia. Barbara Scaloro, in absentia, with honors and graduate scholarship. Christopher Ernest Simmons, in absentia, with honors and graduate scholarship. Catherine Nicole Simpson, with honors and graduate scholarship. Elizabeth B. Juan Smith, with honors and graduate scholarship. Laura Ann Trzynski. Dayla Weems. Madam President, this completes the awarding of degrees to our master's candidates.
All right. And now, the candidates for the degree of Bachelor of Arts and Bachelor of Science, please rise. Madam President, I present these students who, pending completion of all requirements for the degree of Bachelor of Arts, that's right, please rise, there you go, Bachelor of Arts and Bachelor of Science, and upon certification by the faculty and trustees of Trinity College, will be officially admitted to the earned degrees.
By the authority vested in me by the trustees of the college and upon recommendation of the faculty, I hereby confer upon you the degree of Bachelor of Arts or Bachelor of Science with all the rights, honors, privileges, powers, and responsibility of this distinction. I will remind you as you come up, I will be holding the book, Bishop Brownell's book. I ask you to touch the book gently. Remember, it's almost 200 years old, and then you will pass on to shake hands and get your degrees. Congratulations.
The candidates for degrees of Bachelor of Arts and Bachelor of Science will please be seated. Madam President, I now present the valedictorian of the class of 2023. Keelim McNamara, with honors in interdisciplinary computing with studio arts. Madam President, I now present the salutatorian of the class of 2023, Jacob Samuel Wolf Bogajida, with honors in biology. We now complete the awarding of the degrees to the class of 2023. Michel Abdelaziz Al-Saud. Midu Abu Ali. Kathleen Adams. Clark Agnew. Miko Ayanem. Absentia. Andrew Reza Akbari. Christina Alcaro with honors in biochemistry. Jonathan Ausworth. Emily Alexander. Scott Mead Alexander. Tyler Allcroft with honors in biology. Raymond Alvarez Adorno with honors in anthropology. Karina Guadalupe Amaro Olvera with honors in international studies. Justin Wyatt Andreoli. Christian Anzaveneno. Jacob Armentrout with honors in public policy and law and classical studies. Kayla Amistad. Victoria Osfag. Hassan Azim. Faith Bailey. Kai Bailey. Zainab Bayayoko. John Baker. Henry Peyton Barber. Chasira Barrett. Anna Elizabeth Bauer with honors in English. Mandy Benjamin in absentia. Thaddeus Benjamin. Julius Benthien with honors in urban studies. Megan Bernardine. Molly Bernstein. Isabella Bernstein with honors in environmental science. Emma Elizabeth Berube. Isabella Bianchini. Samuel Amoako Boadu. Diresu Boka. Megan Bodmer with honors in film studies. Charlotte Bond. Michaela Bocher. Justin Louis Bojin. Alexandra Bosikan with honors in English. Michaela Bove. Sloan Isabella Brewster. James Bristol. Molly Broderick. Emily Copeland Brown. Joshua Brown. Juliana Brown with honors in theater and dance. Kelsey Brown with honors in sociology. Spencer Dose Brown. Thomas Anders Brown. Shea Mary Burdick. Malika Buscaino with honors in urban studies and international studies. Natalie Maria Caffrey with honors in public policy and law. Hughes Rockwell Callahan. Claudia Marie Capone. Stanley Cardona Toledo. Nana Karlicki. Tasha Casey with honors in psychology and music. Tara Nina Castellino with honors in economics. Aiden Judge Kavanaugh. Charles Nason Kavanaugh. Cooper McCarthy Cavines. Nicholas Ciarito with honors in history and American studies. Pranik Raj Chumgalagai with honors in computer science. Joyce Lynn Chan. Linka Nyasha Chapata. Dongling Chen with honors in chemistry and art history. Runze Chen. Yuson Chen. Jamie Sherry Valentine. Aiden Chisholm with honors in language and cultural studies. Eleanor Gabrielle Kemilovitz with honors in environmental science. Brendan Chow. Maxwell Christian in absentia. Chu Tianshu in absentia. Joseph William Schifferly with honors in English. Miriam Guy Lun Chen. Angela Clark. Kevin Ryan Clark. Andrew Clausen. Erling Claremont. Brian Clarity. Brandon Coffey. Emma Catherine Cohen. William Edward Colbert. Giselle Colazzo. Liam James Coloran. Lucas Collins. Tyler Constable. Rashad Hanif Conway. Christopher Cooper with honors in studio arts. Henry Quarterman. Kiani Antunes Correa. Natalia Cortes with honors in language and cultural studies. Matthew John Costco. Elise Costello. Addison Cox with honors in computer science. Hannah Carley with honors in biochemistry and English. Emma Cropper. Daniel Cummings. William Valentine Crawley. Taylor Condiff. Isaiah Curry. William Curtis. Yuna Dai. Nicholas Ryan Dahl. Matthew Davey. Jackson Davis. Miles Christian Luke Davis. Habiba Dawood. Felipe de la Cruz, Jr. Erin Jalduran de Macro with honors in public policy and law. David DiMartino. Julia Cotlet Dennehy. Elizabeth Merrill Denny. Victoria Abigail Presimi de Rosla. Erica DeMond with Honors in Educational Studies. Haley DeMond. Chloe Florian Dessel. Natalie May Diaz. Patrick Dillon. Christina Dimova with Honors in Psychology. Olivia L. DiRico. Catherine Ann Doyle with Honors in English and Educational Studies. Peter Doyle. James Dresser. Lucien Charles Ducret. Jane Elizabeth Dunbar. David Durkheim. Nicholas Anthony Durso. Isabel Duval with Honors in English. Galen Dwyer. Max Edminster. Alexander Elias. Ahmed Eltur. Sky Embray. Fatima Alondra Escamilla Romano. Helen Fair. Ji Wen Fan. Jane Fantozzi with Honors in English. Jason Farrell Jr. Andrew Fury. Mika Fernald. Lara Ferris. Charles Hubbard Ferrucci. Spencer Fetter. Taylor Lee Fleming with Honors in Public Policy and Law. Reagan Francis Flynn with Honors in Political Science. Lucas Folan. Hayden Foldhazy. Madeline Foster. Christopher Paul Franco. Isaac Davis Frank. Kate Ryan Freda with Honors in Psychology. Bria Joy Ames Fuller. Victoria Furlan with Honors in Psychology. Mia Fusco. Christopher Fuscas with Honors in History. Allison Elizabeth Futter with Honors in Psychology. Samantha Ann Gallo. April Ganji with Honors in Neuroscience. Diraj Anand Ganji with Honors in Computer Science. Karen Milagoas Garcia with Honors in Hispanic Studies. Stephanie Michelle Garvis with Honors in Neuroscience. Alisa Gazivoda. Mackenzie Georgescu. Eloy Jerry. Justin Giacobi. Thomas Giandomenico. Zoe Kira Gill, with honors in public policy and law. Scarlett Druyo Gillette, with honors in engineering. Reagan Giloli. Jose Ginocchio Moraes. Abigail Heath Gleason. Katie Good. Flynn Gorman, with honors in biology. Gabrielle Greenmay. Patrick Grims. Alexander Guillermo. Qinghui Gua, with honors in English. Ryan Gurney. Gwyneth Erin Goodtail, with honors in English. Daniel Gutierrez. Casey Haberger. John Halkovich. Sydney Hall, with honors in neuroscience. Anastasia Hannafin, with honors in neuroscience. Isabella Taub Hartman. Anna Harvey. Mariam Azuka Hassan, with honors in educational studies and studio arts. Bleeth Hastings. Aspen Tierney Hawkins, with honors in biochemistry. Colin Hawkins, with honors in interdisciplinary computing. James Healy III. Colin Hedge. Alvarez Hernandez. Kent Hernandez Pedroza. Daniel Hernan. Alessandra Higgins. Joseph Hawk. Colin Jackson Höfner. Zilong Hong. Walker Hopkins. Christopher Horkan. Justin Hoyt. Sydney Francis Hughes. Sarah Jane Hunt, with honors in educational studies. Harrison Ike. Jack Anthony Lincoln Impronto, in absentia. Lily Ives. Joshua Jacob. Ian Jacobson, in absentia. John Jacobson. Joshua Hayden Jacobs, with honors in anthropology. Leia Jensen, with honors in psychology. Daniel Jewell. Ru Wei Jian, in absentia. Sarah Johnson. Timothy William Johnson. Tylee Jones. Bria Jourdain. Alaya Jupiter. Kara Couchney, with honors in music. Joseph Kavanaugh. Kendra Meave Keelan with honors in political science and urban studies. Peter Henley Kier. Alexander Kylan. Luke Kellen. Ava Madeira Keller with honors in psychology. Dion Kelly with honors in sociology. Christina Mary Kendall. Juliana Lynn Kennedy with honors in neuroscience. Zam Ming Kai with honors in biochemistry. Suleiman Khalid. Noor Khan. Caroline Corina Killian with honors in environmental science. Kayla Killebrew with honors in theater and dance. Naima Kimondo. Eileen Kermani. Kate Claridis Dietra. Andrews Class. John Andrew Conrad. William Nikolai Krorik. Michael Kulik. Oslem Katlur.
Macaire Michael Labarge. Isabella Lacava. Henry Lagasse with honors in biology. Abigail Elena Lambert with honors in Hispanic studies. Henrique Landis. Lucy Larkin. Tanner LaRosa. Leah Joy Latimer with honors in psychology. Ellis Fuller Lawrence II with honors in music. Claire Frances Lehman with honors in anthropology. Jae Young Lee. Gordon Leach. Nicholas Lee. Chani Liang Huang. Yunsung Liu. David Hall Lloyd Jr. Christopher Longo. Julian Harris Lopez. Nancy Alejandra Lopez Flores. Star Alexandra Lucas. Hanyang Lo with honors in computer science. Kevin Laskawa with honors in biochemistry. Brooke McDonald. Leslie Ann Machedo. Jacob Madigan. Isabel Majoni. Viraz Mahanti. Megan Kylie Maher with honors in art history. Ifam Majid. Sophia Malenfant. Michael Cooper Mandel. Gabrielle Maggiafico. Dolores Marshall Modesto with honors in psychology. Melissa Rose Marcialis. Delaney Ann Markham. Hannah Margaret Markham. Julian Perry Marlowe with honors in biology. Jacob Marcelli. Travis Martin. Nicole Brianna Massa with honors in psychology. Michael Frank Massey. Olivia Jean Mastrangelo with honors in environmental science. Sarah Lynn Matthew with honors in neuroscience. Lucas Anderson Matino. Charlotte Christina Matthews. John Anthony McCann Jr. Matthew McCarthy. Finn Thomas McCool in absentia. Maggie McCool. Reed McDonald. Finnegan McGovern. Cooper McGrath. Emma Elizabeth McGraw with honors in educational studies. Scott McGraw. Allison Hope McNamara. Sophie McNutt. Malik Stanford McPherson with honors in engineering. Ramphis Medina.
Let's go!
Michael Maloro. Molly Menunos with honors in psychology and Italian studies. Harriet Mina. Aaron Maselli. Olivia Misenko. James Michieli. Robert Mihaly. Jake Anthony Miller. Adam Menahan with honors in engineering. Marshall Motner. Matthew Moran. Joshua Morency. Jasmine Morgan. Tave Elizabeth Mundsberg with honors in Italian studies and Hispanic studies. Jillian Grace Murdoch. Caitlin Nadio. Anunsha Nadim. Umar Nawid. Gabrielle Wachtel Newman. Stephanie Nevers. Riley Francis Nichols with honors in Human Rights Studies. Blessing Njoku with honors in Njaku with honors in biochemistry. Gift Nosakare. Joseph Nyanyahe. Alexander Miller Oaks. Chad Emery Obrey. James William O'Connor. Liam O'Connor. Margaret Alden. Zachary Odell, in absentia. Adriana Odom. Sandra Asentowa Ofori, with honors in engineering. Justin O'Neill Riley. Esme Violet Ostrowitz-Levine, with honors in Human Rights Studies. Maj Otaki. Yuv Palit, in absentia. Rachel Ann Popolsky. Olivia Papp. Dylan Park. Jasmine Judith Paras. Nicholas Patch. Ariana Patel. Emlyn Jean Patry. Catherine Barnett Pellegrino. Chance Perexlis. Elizabeth Perler with honors in theater and dance. Maja Pesco. Logan Peterson. Panap Fongpetra in absentia. Christian Paul Piantino. Catherine Piculel. Benjamin Perko. Daniel Poblit. Raleigh Pollock. Olivia Pomerlo with honors in biology. Ling Yu Poon. Caroline Anesley Post. Margaret Powers with honors in American Studies. Maciek Prajad with honors in theater and dance. Riley Pratson. Nicholas Price. William Paul Puccio. Alexandra Quirk with honors in American Studies. Oceana Angelique Rago. Sumyak Ra. Allison Capron Rao with honors in French and history. Tristram Ravenscroft. Ava Ravitz with honors in educational studies. Connor John Rick with honors in public policy and law. Madeline Rose Recker with honors in public policy and law. C.J. Red, Jr. George Abbott Abraham Rett. Nadine Reyes. Diego Rodriguez. Ryan Rogi. Slitlali Quetzalin Rojas Huerta with honors in chemistry. Johan Rosario with honors in philosophy. Ireland Rowan. Avery Elizabeth Rowland with honors in economics. Danuta Rudnicki. Michaela Rufus. Michaela Russell. Sean Russell. Kelly Marie Sablon. Naya Danielle Sadler. Nora Sadegi. Gustavo Sanchez. Grace Therese Cinco. Daniel Santos Ramirez with honors in political science. Samantha Sorelli. Caroline Safarti. Crawford Sargent with honors in history. Amico Maria Sasso. Jerica Saunders. Isabel Shunashi Sayas. Simi Schreiber. Jillian Lee Shuck with honors in English. Marie Chouvelet with honors in neuroscience. William Francis Scola. Matthew Scott. Vaden Howell Scott. Samuel Paul Scribano. Olive Francis Tidman Skoll with honors in English. Sophia Marie Zerko. Alice Siegel with honors in biology. William Seibel. Paul Selleck. Tiana Elise Sharp with honors in Hispanic Studies and Human Rights Studies. Tucker Sheehan. Costanza Ciclari. Caitlin Ann Seidman. John Finley Signer. Francesca Elizabeth Silva. Luke Silver in absentia with honors of philosophy. Skylar Simpkins with honors in neuroscience and political science. Eric Simpson with honors in engineering. Dana Smith Jr. Maeve Smith. Duncan John Sopko. Gabrielle Sorondo Girola with honors in Hispanic Studies. Caitlin Sousey. Sydney Grace Sperling. Alexander Steele. Zachary William Steets. Madison Emma Stevens. Hannah Strausik. John Delaney Stremsky. Natalie Michelle Suckman with honors in art history. Ananya Swami with honors in engineering. Zoe Camille Sylvester Chin. Ayana Tabo with honors in chemistry. Samuel Taishoff with honors in Russian. Takanori Tanifuji with honors in computer science. Keith Tanner. Sarah Emmer Tarleton. Melina Angeles Tavares with honors in anthropology. Tantanakia Taylor with honors in sociology. Lily Taylor French. Weston Tersey. Maxwell Tatro. August Theoharides. Juan Pedro Tome Dalazem. Hannah Chalsma with honors in educational studies. Anne Tren with honors in international studies. Tyler Trochi. Jamie Catherine Trodden, Connor Troiano, Benjamin Trotter, Andrew James Troy, Zoe Janet Tucker with honors in biology, Hunter Tolley, Andrew Thomas Tuzzolo, Lucas Anthony Turco, Mehmet Akif Turhan, Ethan Tim, Mercy Uno, Isan Uyan, Anna van Hoff, Victor Valentin Vasquez Diaz, Daniela Villasenor with honors in film studies, Abigail Wager, Juanel Marquise Walker, Charles Wall, Julia Sean Lynn Wallen, Brendan William Walsh, Anbang Wang, Zuzakai Wang, Darren Warren, Destiny Watson, Lisa and Marie Watson, Ryan French Werner with honors in neuroscience, Adam Whitehill, Catherine Archer Whitman, Ryan Patrick Wiley, Ethel Wilhelmsson, Thursday Kellis Williams with honors in public policy and law, Sarah Killeran Williamson, Lucy Wilson with honors in Hispanic studies, Madison Chiarello Wilson, honors in art history, Scott William Wilson, Jordan Weiner, Colin Wolf, Kyle Woodring, Thomas Cochran Woods V, Harriet Wu, Su Chang Wu with honors in history, Evan Sean Wyman, Yi Xia, Yiming Jing, Shini Shu, Mohammed Mateen Yakubi with honors in world literature and culture studies, Caroline Schofield Yance, Isabel Vogel Yance with honors in art history, Emma Young with honors in public policy and law, Nicholas Zakarewski with honors in neuroscience and German studies, Sitlali Sarai Zavala with honors in Hispanic studies, Percival Zentz, Sihan Zhang, Alan Zhenji Zhao, Wen Chao, Yicheng Zhu with honors in computer science, Camila Zigadlo with honors in biochemistry, Maxwell Nortman with honors in human rights studies. Madam President, this completes the awarding of degrees.
congratulations to all of our graduates. And here to welcome you on behalf of the Trinity College Alumni Association is Joe Gross, class of 1994. I don't come back up, so.
Good afternoon, Trinity College class of 2023. What a glorious day to be a Bantam. It's an honor to congratulate all of you and welcome you to the ranks of Trinity alumni across the globe, 30,000 strong. We're cheering for you and excited for you as the next generation of Bantams. And from the energy on campus, and I felt today, we all felt today, you are clearly a very special group. Let me start by officially congratulating your parents and families who are filled with pride. It's very clear, there's a section right over there, I saw them. While you walk across the stage today, you know, it's not just you who's walking here. You're not walking alone. Your parents, your families, your cousins, your siblings, your friends, they're the wind at your back propelling you forward. They're basking in this moment, truly, as should all of you. Let's also thank the faculty, administration, coaches, and staff for supporting all of you today to get here today. You've had an unprecedented journey, to say the very least. These last 4 years, you've lived through a global pandemic, experienced social unrest, unprovoked invasions of sovereign nations, bank failures, but you've also seen the rise of cryptocurrencies, artificial intelligence, and TikTok. I've yet to really embrace it fully, but I'm getting there. I'd also like to wish you happiness, success, and fulfillment. What 4 years at Trinity, having come and gone, should show you is that life truly is a journey. Your success is largely driven by how you approach it, what you do from this day forth. Here's my suggestion. It's called the 4 H's: heart, hustle, horsepower, and humility. Heart is really about tenacity and fortitude. How committed are you to achieving and realizing your long-term goals? Horsepower is really about intellect and effort. How much intellectual horsepower will you bring to any endeavor, inherently or learned? You can learn things, you can work harder, you can ask questions, you can look for help, and you can search within. Hustle is really about effective networking, and it's the grind, right? But it's about developing quality relationships. It's not just about what others can do for you, it's what you can do for others. No one can help you reach your destination unless they know where you want to go and they want to help you. Last thing is humility, recognizing that the path to achieving success is long and windy and at times lonely. It takes decades, but it's a process. You'll learn. But along the way, please be kind, have good intentions, and lead with integrity. And be fair and trustworthy in your words and actions. Live and approach life with this mindset and in this manner, and I think you'll find success, however you define it. Last thing I will share is that you are joining a passionate and engaged alumni community that is eager and willing to help all of you. However, the very first step is yours. You have to reach out to fellow alums, leverage the community that we have as Bantams, make sure that you join the Bantam Career Network or reach out to the Office of Career and Life Design and stay connected with each other. Also, make new connections along the way. There's mentoring opportunities for young alums and current students, and those who are benefiting from the alumni organization, reach back to those as you enter adulthood or young adulthood. So with that, I thank you for allowing me to address you all today. Once again, I ask you to thank those who got you here today, your family, friends, and faculty. You didn't get to Trinity alone. You didn't get through Trinity alone. And as alum of this great institution, you won't have to walk through life alone. You're a Bantam, so chin up, shoulders back, walk tall with self-confidence and Bantam pride. Be safe today. Welcome to the alumni community. Congratulations. Okay. Now please join the Trinity Pipes in singing our alma mater, "'Neath the Elms," whose lyrics, in case you don't know, are printed on the commencement program. Afterwards, Reverend Haley will deliver the benediction.
Neath the elms of our old Trinity, neath the elms of our dear old Trinity, no more shall we meet our classmates to greet. Neath the elms of our old Trinity, neath the elms of our old Trinity, neath the elms of our dear old Trinity, oh, it's seldom we'll meet in the moonlight so sweet. Neath the elms of our old Trinity, on the hills of our old Trinity, in the halls of our dear old Trinity, there is bright merry cheer, there are friends true and dear, in the halls of our old Trinity. College days are from care and sorrow free, and oft will we seek in memory, those days that are past, far too joyous to last, neath the elms of our old Trinity. Then we'll sing to our old Trinity, to our dear old alma mater Trinity. We're together today and tomorrow away, far away from our old Trinity.
I invite you to stand as you're able for our benediction. Friends, colleagues, class of 2023, I offer you this benediction, these good words, to accompany your journey until we meet again. Our world is facing a compounding set of challenges that will keep each of us busy for 1,000 lifetimes. Challenges like climate change, rising autocracy, wars and violence, widening economic uncertainty and inequality, but into this world we must go, because this is the only world we have, this world we call home. So let us go forth with courage, to face our fears and our worries with a fierce resolve that we can make a difference. Let us go forth in hope to plant seeds that will one day grow into trees under whose shade future generations may rest. Let us go forth in joy, holding close in our hearts our cherished memories of our times here 'neath the elms. Let us go forth in community, recognizing the worth and dignity of our shared humanity that unites us across even our most fierce differences. And let us go forth this day in faith, knowing that while we may not be able to see the path that is laid out ahead of us, So long as we walk in love, we will inevitably make it home. Go in peace, and may goodness and mercy accompany you all the days of your life. Amen. Please remain standing for the recessional.